And welcome back. So, as you kind of skitter into the cavern, heading down the snaking hallway, the smell gets a little I'd say sweeter.
Ooh.
There's almost like a grapefruit or citrus type smell.
Oh, jackpot!
You head over towards the right entryway and hear this ever so faint sound of some rocks moving, and like the sound of a 1,000 metallic armor scales just gently brushing against rock.
I freeze and go invisible.
You stand there for a second, holding your breath as that weird slithering sound gets louder. And you see out of the right-hand corner of your eye something large kind of slither past you. And you can see at the front of it, it looks like a worm of a very thick hide as it moves around and seems to curl around on itself, almost forming a loop and a knot around its own body. You realize it's encircling you.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
I reach quietly into my bag of holding. Take out the horn of silent love.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh my god.
Natural 20.
Yes!
Midgeon, you hear the horn just blasting into your head.
You alright?
Chet's in trouble.
Oh no! Well, damn shame.
As you stand there, the horn still in your hand, you watch as the front of it that you saw kind of snaking formless seems to unfold a bit. As it unfolds, these two heads kind of pop out. No eyes, but you see these like mandibles that are tucked in at the front of each of them as they both kind of like... And they're like looking in your direction. They know you're there. They're just pinpointing. Playing, you're not sure. You hear the sounds of the footfalls and your friends rapidly approaching. One of the heads kind of like...
I'm going to learn from my past mistakes, and I'm going to cover my mouth and bonus action hybrid transformation into a werewolf. And I'm like...
And at the last minute, you go... And both heads immediately back to you. Mandibles open up. You rush in there. You don't hear anything, and it's just darkness, and you have no idea what's happening.
All right. Would I be able to cast daylight?
Feeling through, there's a little bit of flame of Mister as he approaches that just gives enough light to show you that this tunnel opens up into a room, and you don't know what's in that room.
Okay.
And so you just...
Let's just throw up daylight.
Throw daylight into that space. The room suddenly brightens up as if it was mid-afternoon in the center of this darkened chamber. And the three of you can immediately see this large, coiled worm-like creature. You see two of these extended heads without eyes, mandibles snapping, and at the end of the tail, a massive, weird-looking curved stinger that seems to like whip behind it as it does.
Ruh-roh.
Holy shit. I'll take the turmoil cane out and utter the word, done, and it'll unfurl into a scythe. I'll use my bonus action to slice it up my quad, and flames erupt along the blade. And I will take a swipe at the approach and take a swipe.
You carve twice into this creature, these large gash marks opening across its thick, slithering, almost now you can see somewhat shiny hide, like it has a viscous excretion that kind of surrounds the exterior of its body. As you cut, its blood kind of sprays outward, and you prepare yourself with a grin of like, okay, if it bleeds, we can kill it. What's that burning sensation? You take 12 points of acid damage. Oh! The creature now, seems to notice the arrival and the footfalls of your companions. As you've gashed it with the scythe before, it tries to lash out towards you, and your scythe is already in the place, and instead it bites the blade of your scythe, and you just pull it free As it uses that momentum, it whips around. The other mandibles are going to strike towards you, FCG.
No!
7 points of acid damage.
Oh, wait.
The two heads that are snatching, you see where the two of them meet. Something almost like an opening opens up between that fork.
Hot pocket.
And it seems like the middle of its body seems to swell for a second, and then suddenly, this mass of pale, colorless, white, almost capillary-like flesh just kind of extends and stretches out.
Oh, that's fucking terrible. I've seen those creatures before.
34 points of acid damage, and your maximum hit points are reduced by 10.
Oh, shit!
As the stomach extension wraps around you, and seems to begin the digestion process and yanks you as it pulls all of its extended stomach back into that hole. It's pulling all of you in that area towards it. So you get pulled up. I guess you also would have noticed too, the wounds that you left on it seem to be in the process of sealing themselves up.
Oh no, the wounds are starting to self-heal a little.
11.
I can't. Okay, I will chill touch it. 6 necrotic damage, so not great, but it cannot regain hit points.
All right, as the chill touch image kind of shifts out as you extend your claw and it digs its way into its body, you can see the wounds that were closing almost seem to freeze over with magical ice and are no longer healing.
Okay. I am going to reach my hand out, and from the ground, it's going to start like shaking and kind of breaking open, and these giant tendrils of dark energy are going to reach up and around the creature, and I'm gonna cast Hungry Torrent.
All right.
What?
Man, this thing is disgusting as shit. I'll hop up onto that little divider there, 5'10".
Right here?
Yes, and I will slash Seedling to the air twice and send, so 20 total.
20 total?
Is what
Okay.
that is.
All right, I kind of see what's going on here, so I'm gonna keep running towards me. I'm gonna. I've got a good line of sight on this thing, and I'm going to take the
Move
little
up against the wall.
And so I'm just gonna figure out the right line. I'm gonna take the hammer. I'm gonna give it a nice, good throw, and it's going to hit him right behind his head.
Oh,
in
so
the
you got
corner.
space.
Oh, amazing.
He takes his massive hammer and swings it and releases it. It just vanishes in the air, and the creature all of a sudden behind it, the hammer pops out of nowhere as a small wormhole opens and it emerges with an arc. Go ahead and roll for the attack.
I'll do that. Natural 20.
Let's go!
That means all attacks of against this creature are made with advantage until the start of my next turn.
Wow.
38 points of damage. Dude. Catching back. That went rather well. I'm gonna take another angle and I'm gonna throw another one.
Go for it. So it's almost like you see him swinging nothing, it disappears, then he catches on the other side, and then swings and it vanishes, and it comes down from the top towards the creature.
22 points of damage.
The creature, which is currently now starting to freak out a bit, you watch as it lifts its heads up and its mandibles open and they seem to chatter, but no sound comes out. And a bunch of unseen little pods in the ceiling just kind of begin popping as
Popping?
tiny little larval things
That's
fall
his
from the
favorite.
ground.
Nightmare, I had this nightmare.
They hit and just impact and burst. So everyone in the room takes
Now there's so many holes up there.
4 points of acid damage.
This place gives me the willies. Okay. I'm gonna try to stay in cover back there, but I want to be able to throw some scorching Marisha rays.
Okay.
Wow, that's great.
All three rays blast on the side of it, lighting up the room even more, almost recoiling from the flame, not knowing where the source is, as both heads are kind of looking around for what's making this, the sound or making the motion.
I will I will expend the shatter spell from the scythe
You got it.
at him.
As you kind of like rear back and you swing the scythe upward, you watch as the shockwave, like a blade of force power, kind of coasts along the ground. Very like anime shockwave blast that kind of like cuts and then detonates across the backside of this creature. Beginning of its turn, it is affected by your torrent. The tendrils like whip around and slithers out past. It moves forward first to try and like move forward where you would be, but there's nothing there. And so it just keeps shifting over in your direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and make two jagged mandible attacks against you, which are disadvantaged because of your goading attack.
And misses, I just stay perfectly still.
Yeah, and it just like slashes out and hits the rock behind you. And it's going to extend its stomach into the tunnel where all the blasts have been coming from on that side. 36 points of acid.
Dang.
Oh!
Both Laudna and Fern, your maximum hit points are reduced by 10. And both of you, as the stomach extends out, it pulls you both out of the chamber and into range with it there.
I am going to... I kind of like since it like wrapped its stomach around me, I kind of just grip it for a minute and like blind its stomach.
You watch as the bright white, like colorless, pale extension of its internals that you've grasped go from blanched white to a deep, sickly black green. It almost like you extend your own essence through into it, and as you do, you watch as both the heads kind of like pull back and shake, mandibles wide open, and immediately withdraws it from the inside before it like lands, and you can see the heads looking a bit panicked. And the creature is looking very spooked and very like try and find some sort of egress.
And then once again, I'm going to slam my hand into the wall, and I'm going to quicken a spell and do chill touch again.
Nice.
And the bone nest from under it, like a hand forms out of the bone nest and smashes it. I still have my spider climb up, so I'm going to like skitter up on the wall and hang upside down and just panic for a slight second.
Right as Laudna skitters up, I'm gonna step right in where Laudna had been standing. Mm-hmm. Put my hands on the side of my head and like shoot forward a lance with such force that all my hair shoots forward and my dress shoots forward too. As it
That's awesome. It's like 3 shots, like from different angles.
And it is incapacitated.
The thing looks like flailing about, or
it's flailing and looks like it's getting ready to run.
Okay.
It's weird. You've never seen a massive worm creature look scared, but you can feel its instinctual fight or flight is kicked in, and it's leaning more on the flight.
But we don't know where it's gonna go, and I don't know that it's been feared. I'm gonna spring on top of it and start stabbing it.
All right.
I'm looking for a vital spot. I'm gonna wait till its head whips around. As soon as I see one of its large circular mouths come, stab right into it.
You do take 6 acid damage as you strike it with the first blow, and as you carve through, you get kind of splashed with some of its... You're not sure if it's the blood or just the secretion that surrounds its body, but it burns into your skin as it hits you. You hit in just a place where this thing has not been making any noise internally. All of its sounds it seems to be emitting are probably beyond your hearing and just borderline yours. This strike is the first time you all hear... like this like recoiling kind of guttural screech as it pulls back and slithers into the central space, like spraying its some sort of liquid from its body as it does. That damages you, but nobody else in the vicinity, and it looks like it's cornered and scared.
I've got a good side. I got a good look at this. I see where everything's going. I think I just fucking try and give this a nice run. I'm going to do another Chaos Burst attack. I'm going to do another wormhole strike.
Okay.
And I'm going to actually hop through my own portal and come jumping over it, hitting it on the way back. Wow. Since I get that for killing it. And then just right over the damn thing. As you teleport into the opposite side, full momentum rushing towards it, and then wham, hit it from behind like a freight train. The creature's, one of its heads just kind of detonates across the far wall as it splatters against the basalt rock on this end where nobody is. The rock kind of like, some of it kind of burns, and the pockmarks you can see barely settling in before it slowly neutralizes. The other head shrieks and it begins to try and pull away, but it bleeds out, and slowly as it begins to escape towards this tunnel where you are, and as it approaches you, it's like, and its tail kind of like twitches and swirls a bit before it eventually comes to rest.
You did it, Chetney!
No problem.